So there are some things that can absolutely shut your nonprofit down, and you don't want to risk those. Not filing your 990s is one, being out of compliance with your charitable solicitation license in your state. There are lots of things and regulations that you need to know, and you might not know, but this video is going to help you to know what some of those are and also where you can go to get some help. So this video is going to talk about governance, accountability, and ethics. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have these things in place and to have integrity as the forefront of your organization. Things happen, you have to be able to make changes quickly, and you have to have that strong tone at the top to make proper decisions and not quick, rash decisions. Because I've been in business 40 years and because I've worked with nonprofits for over 20 years, I have a lot of experience in helping organizations get through these items, making sure that they have the proper board, the proper governance, and have met all their regulations. So stay tuned and let's walk through this together. I cannot stress enough how important it is to start out like you want to continue. You want to be sure you have all the foundation in place to make a good start so that you can build on that throughout the life of the organization. That means at the outset, you need to get people on your board that are honest, that are trustworthy, that have the mission's impact in mind, but also have the integrity to carry out the mission in a way that's legal and ethical. You have to make sure you go to your local, state, and federal laws and regulations and make sure you cover all of those bases. And that's not something you inherently know. Most nonprofit leaders are not business people. They're not accountants. They're not attorneys. They have a passion for the organization, but the business end of it is difficult. So I highly suggest that you do reach out to someone to help you, like an accountant, like an attorney that specializes in nonprofit organizations, to help you get all those pieces in place. Make sure you're compliant from the start. You can get shut down more quickly from missing something from a compliance aspect than anything. So be sure you start the way you want to continue. Be sure the tone at the top is one of high integrity and ethics. And that will get your mission started off in the right way and in a way that will make others have trust in your organization and want to help you. So in running your nonprofit organization, you want to make sure that you have the tools in place to tell others about what you're doing and telling your story both in data and outcomes in ways that make others want to come alongside you. So one way you can do that is having an annual audit. You may not be required to have an audit based on your revenues or based on the grants you receive. But if you do have an audit, a lot of times brings that confidence from funders and government agencies that you have your books in order. They can put trust in what you say, and it can be helpful. Even though it's expensive, sometimes having an audit, even when not required, might be a benefit to you. One other thing I wanted to stress about my personal journey is when I was leading the board as the board chair of a nonprofit organization, I obviously could have prepared the 990 every year for that organization. However, I chose not to. And here's why. It gave more credibility for an outside CPA firm to prepare that 990 and have that outside third-party credibility than for me as the board chair to complete the Form 990. So that's a recommendation I have for small nonprofits that might have someone on the board that could do the 990. If you outsource it, that could potentially provide more credibility to your organization. So your organization has some tools that can help you to build credibility with your stakeholders. One of those is an annual audit. Another one is your Form 990. And let me go into a little more detail about both of those. As a nonprofit, your numbers and your outcomes and everything about you is open to the public. You want to make sure that that transparency that you have is used to your best advantage. And there's a couple of tools that will help you do that you might not be thinking about. One of those is your Form 990. That is public information. It's on the IRS website and it's on guidestar.org, which is a nonprofit platform. And folks can look at that at any time and see your mission, your numbers, your outcomes. This is a great place to showcase what you're doing in a way that you have to do it anyway. It's required. So why not use it to your best advantage? Really pump up your 990, really make it tell your story. Another place I highly encourage you to get engaged with is guidestar.org. This is a place that you can put lots of information. You can put your board members, you can put your mission, you can put your programs. I highly, highly encourage you to put as much information in there as possible, because that's one of the first places that funders are going to look to see what you're doing and if they feel like you're a worthy organization to support. So in any business, you have to have a succession plan. And this is also true for nonprofit organizations. What if your executive director had to suddenly leave her post? Do you have a backfile position? You have to make sure that you have those key employee roles and those key volunteer roles covered in the event that someone can't do something at the drop of a hat. For board members, and when you start your board, you're going to have term limits. Generally, it's a good idea. You should have term limits. You shouldn't have board members that are on forever. And you want to rotate those term limits at the beginning so everybody doesn't rotate off in 3 years and you have all brand new board. It's very important for the sustainability and the continuity of the organization to have people that know what happened in the past and can lead into the future and keep that rotating. Another thing about board members, you always want to be looking for people that might fit your board. We had someone that used to come to the community center and play disc golf and pickleball, and he was in his 20s, and he was real interested and there every day playing one of those. And one day I talked to him and I said, "Hey, would you consider coming on our board?" Most of our board members were between 50 and 65 years old. We didn't have any youthful board members. And he agreed and has been an outstanding board member. In fact, he's over all the outdoor recreational part of the organization. So make sure you're incorporating board members that have different types of abilities and skills and demographics, age, race. You want to bring all different types of people in so that you can be inclusive with your organization. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Be sure and tune in for the next one. We're going to talk about investing in your people, your stakeholders, your employees, and your volunteers. See you next time.